Episode 4, Thriving at Work, the versions of an employee and who you choose to become. Let's talk. Welcome back. Work. It's where we spend a huge chunk of our lives. And yet, for so many people, it's just a means to an end, a paycheck, a routine, something to get through. But for others, it's something more. An opportunity, a place to grow, a space to build something bigger than just a job. And if you're here listening to this, I have a feeling that you might be looking for more. Because at the end of the day, the type of employee you choose to be doesn't just affect what you do, it shapes who you become. So today, let's take a look at the versions of an employee, the ones who coast, the ones who struggle, the ones who step up, and the ones who thrive. But before we get into that, let me tell you a story, my story. Because I wasn't always in management. I wasn't always confident in my work. In fact, I started at zero. And if you're feeling like you're just barely figuring things out, trust me, I know what that feels like. Faking it till I made it, I found my first real job online. It was a programming job. The problem? I wasn't good at it. I would sit at my desk every day, faking it till I made it, hoping no one would notice how clueless I was. I was nervous, constantly worrying that I wasn't meeting expectations. And looking back, I wasn't. That job could have been a dead end for me. I could have stayed stuck, waiting to get better at something I wasn't naturally good at. But something clicked. I realized that this wasn't going to be my path, but there was still value I could offer. I started opening myself up to any task the company needed, big or small. I didn't care. I wasn't waiting for the perfect opportunity. I was making myself available for any opportunity. Discovering my strength. Here's the thing. Before I worked that job, I had experience as an entrepreneur. I knew how to be resourceful, how to be self-motivated, and how to build efficiency into everything. And I realized something important. If a task had repetition, that meant it needed a system. If something was taking too much time, that meant there was a better way to do it. And the moment I recognized that, I started working in logistics and warehousing. Before I knew it, I was managing the entire warehouse and supply chain of the company, all because of one simple realization. Every company values efficiency. Every leader values organization. If you can structure systems that save people time, you become an asset. And that was my first real step toward leadership. Seeing the bigger picture. But here's the part that changed everything. At some point, I realized that every employee around me was just like me. They were figuring things out too. Some struggled but never asked for help. Some struggled and leaned too heavily on others. Some picked things up fast and grew quickly. And I thought, what if I could help them? What if I could help people figure out their own work, create their own systems, and be better at what they do? So I did. And here's what happens when you help someone. Not just in your department, but across the company. You build relationships. You gain respect from different teams. And most importantly, you become someone that leadership notices. Because suddenly, you're not just another employee, you're a leader. The versions of an employee. So let's break it down. There are employees who clock in, do what they're told, and leave. And if that's what you want, that's okay. But those employees will never move up. Then, there are employees who struggle but lean on others too much. They never quite take full responsibility for figuring things out. And then, there are the ones who never ask for help at all, struggling silently, afraid of looking weak. But the ones who thrive, they take ownership of their work. They seek out opportunities to improve. They help others because helping others builds trust and influence. And that's the difference between staying where you are and growing into something bigger. Your challenge today. So let me ask you, who are you at work? Are you just showing up and doing enough? Are you struggling but never asking for guidance? Are you waiting to be noticed, or are you taking control? Because the truth is, you're not late. You're not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And the only question left is, what will you do next? Let's talk. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a turning point at work? A moment where you realized you needed to step up? Or maybe you're still figuring it out? Drop a comment, send a message, because the more we share, the more we learn from each other. And if today's episode resonated with you, hit subscribe, follow along, and let's keep this conversation going. Because as long as you're on this journey, I'm with you.